Hello everyone, my name is Nigelise Hernandez. I am a senior at USF and I major in health sciences. Today I'll be analyzing the music video This Is America by Childish Gambino, which was released back in 2018. This video powerfully connects with Global Goal 16 of peace, justice, and strong institutions. It addresses themes of violence, systemic injustice, and struggle for safety and fairness within our society today. The chaotic mix of joy, music, and sudden violence highlights the urgent need for stronger institutions that promote peace and protect people's rights. Moving on to the first term that I chose, which is nonverbal communication, which can be found on page 47 of our textbook. It is defined as behaviors and characteristics that convey meaning without the actual use of words. In my own words, I feel that it's the way that we use our body language, our gestures, and our facial expressions to be able to express our emotions, to be able to express the message that we would like to convey without the actual use of words. The textbook gives an example on page 47. If someone were to come up to you and ask you directions, you would point and say, "This way." Now, the pointing reinforces the message. However, if you don't use the pointing, it could get lost with what you're trying to convey with just words without the actual use of actions. In This Is America, a clear example is at 1:22 to 1:30 when Childish Gambino suddenly pulls out a gun and he shoots the choir. His exaggerated body movement and the quick shift within his behavior communicate shock, violence, and chaos without the actual use of words. The nonverbal action in itself becomes the message, reinforcing the idea that violence dominates American life. Term 2, immediacy behaviors, which can be found on page 47 of our textbook. These are nonverbal signs of closeness, of affection, or connection, such as smiling, making eye contact, or just using a warm tone within your voice. It's how we show others we are emotionally or physically present with them, and that we would like to maintain these relationships and continue to have an intimacy. The textbook gives an example on page 47. Immediacy behaviors like smiling or an affectionate touch help maintain important relationships. In the video, an example happens at 52 seconds to 1 minute when Gambino dances joyfully with schoolchildren. Their smiling faces, coordinated movements, and just the closeness and proximity show and create a sense of togetherness and of unity. But this is contrasted with violence happening in the background, showing the tension between connection and destruction within America. The use of immediacy here highlights how entertainment distracts us from injustice. Term 3, facial displays, which can be found on page 48 of our textbook. These are facial expressions that communicate emotion. According to the textbook on page 48, our face reveals more information than any other channel of nonverbal behavior. The textbook gives an example. Our faces communicate identity, attractiveness, and emotion. So if someone were to smile at you, it would show signs of friendliness, of being happy, and of being joyful. On the other hand, if you have a frown on your face, it will show emotions of sadness or possibly anger. In the video, a strong example happens at 2:25 to 2:35 when Gambino's facial expression shifts from a joyful smile during the dancing to a blank emotional stare. That sudden change in his facial display communicates numbness to violence, almost as if chaos has just become normalized within our society. His face alone delivers a powerful message without the actual use of words. From this activity, I realized how powerful nonverbal communication cues really are in shaping messages about peace and about justice. I believe nonverbal communication is even more powerful than actual verbal communication, which is why I wanted to include the saying, "Actions speak louder than words." The gestures, expressions, and visuals in This Is America speak louder than the lyrics themselves. The video shows us that actions like violence, dancing, and facial expressions communicate complex ideas about society and injustice in ways that words can't. This helped me understand how communication works beyond language and why nonverbal cues are critical in shaping how we interpret messages about justice and about peace. Thanks for listening.